Hi everybody, in this video we are going to go through the homework in section 3.1. While going through the homework, I am going to show you how you can use technology to solve your problems. Specifically, I'm going to solve some problems using Microsoft Excel, and I'm going to solve some other problems using the older version of the TI-84 Plus calculator. That's the calculator that most of you will likely have. One thing you might want to keep in mind is you will not have access to Excel while you're taking your test. You will have access to a calculator, either this one or one a little slightly more sophisticated, or the iPhone or Android implementation of a calculator with these capabilities. So you might want to make sure you are familiar with this one right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Now here is our lesson in Hawks relative to section 3.1. There are three sections. There's a learn section, which is kind of like what you get when I'm lecturing. There is a practice section, which is basically the homework in practice mode. You might find that it's easier to go through the homework in practice mode, because if you do, it will tell you when you've made mistakes, identify the mistakes you've made, give you a chance to work through it, and then once you're comfortable, you can go ahead and certify. And to have your homework completed, you have to have 82% of all the problems in here done before the assigned due date. For me, I'm going to go into practice mode. So here we go. And this is our first of 5 questions. Notice that this question has 3 steps. First step, they're going to ask you for the mean. Second step, they're going to ask you for the median, and you guessed it. Third step, they're going to ask you for the mode, or modes if there happen to be 2. Now, to do this particular problem, I'm going to first use Excel. And here's how I can do this. Look at this button here. It says copy data, right? Hit that button. Everything is copied to the clipboard. Come to Microsoft Excel, go to A1, right-click, hit paste. You can hit paste up, hit this paste right here. And there you go. We have all the data. Now we can go to another element, so let's say C right here, and to find the mean, here's what we want to do. We want to type in equals average, parenthesis, and then I want to highlight the numbers with my mouse, my left button in the data set. There we go. And then I want to close the parenthesis. Hit enter. There's your answer. The average is 3. The mean is 3. Okay, for the next step, we want to find the median. So we can come down to the next cell below that, type in equals median, and actually it'll help you with that because it comes up right there. Hit parenthesis, highlight the data set again, close the parenthesis, and there you go. There's your median, -1. Okay, now to find the mode or modes, it's a little tricky. First thing you can do is you can probably eyeball it. Another thing you could do is sort the data. Let's go ahead and do that. The way you can do that is highlight the data, come to data right here, okay, click sort, we don't need that, click sort and filter, sort, we want to go from smallest to largest, there we go, it's sorted. And you can tell right away that we have a multimodal data set. The other thing that you can do is use the multi-mode function. And that works like this. Equals mode, not mud, mode, M-O-O-D-E, and it's mode and mult that we want. Now, we don't have to type all that in. We can go ahead and hit enter. No, not enter, but hit tab. That puts it on, and that completes the thing. Then we can highlight the data set. We can close the parenthesis, and we can hit enter. And notice that it returned 2 values, a -1 and a 13. Those are the 2 modes. So what we can do, so our answer, so we have 2 modes, so we are bimodal, all right? And our modes are going to be -1 and 13. It should not matter what the order is. 13, -1. And there you go. That is the answer to question 1 using Microsoft Excel. Here is question 2. Exact same type of question. The exact same type of three parts. They're gonna ask for the mean, the median, and the mode, and this is our data. Now to do this, I'm going to use the calculator. Here's my calculator. The first thing we need to do is enter in the data. Unfortunately, the copy data function does not work for this. But what we have to do is go into stat. So the stat button right here. All right, we want to edit. So we can either hit 1 or hit enter. We might want to clear the data that's already there. So I'm going to highlight, I'm going to move up till L2 is highlighted, hit clear, hit enter, all that's gone. I'm going to come over here, do the exact same thing. Highlight L1, hit clear, hit enter, and it's gone. Now I'm going to put the data in. First one is -8. Using this negative button, -8, enter. -13, enter. 4, enter. -4, enter. 14, enter, and then 7. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -8, -13, 4, -4, 14, 7. So we seem to be okay. Once we have all that data in, we can hit stat. We want to go over to calc. First variable stats, which is 1. So we just go ahead and hit enter. All right, now our list is an L1. Our frequency list, we don't want to use this unless we are doing weighted mean, so I want to clear that, and then I want to calculate. All right, and there we go. Our mean happens to be 0. X bar is 0, that's our mean. Okay, moving on. Our median we can find by going down. You have Q1, median is right there, happens to be 0. Okay, now the next thing is the mode. Now, unfortunately, the calculator does not give you any information about the mode. Now, what you can do with your calculator, however, is you can go to stat, we can sort, we can select L1, so we want to sort ascending L1 because that's the list that our data is in, and here's list right here. So to get to it, I want to go second, stat, and then hit return for L1, close to parenthesis, and that will have sorted all the data in L1. I can go back into stat, I can select edit, and there it is, sorted. Notice, none of the numbers repeat. There is no mode. So in this case, I click no mode, and I am done. All right, and that brings us to step 3. This one or question 3, this one I will do using, no, I'm going to go ahead and use the calculator again. Okay, so here we want to consider the following data. And so we want to input this data into our calculator. So I'm going to highlight L1, hit clear, hit enter, everything is gone. I'm going to put the data in again. -7, enter. -9, enter. -3, enter. -3, enter. 8, enter. -7, enter. -7, enter. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 data points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 data points. There it is. -7, -9, -3, -3, 8. -7, -7. Okay, so we have everything we need. We could go ahead and sort that. Let's go ahead and do that. So stat, sort to send. Actually, we don't even need to do that. Let's go ahead and hit clear. No, not clear there. Let's just go ahead. We still want that to be -7. So -7. Let's go ahead and hit quit. The quit is second mode. And notice, remember, we have sort ascending L1 right there. What we can do is highlight that. That's in our history. Hit enter. That brings us down to the active command. Hit enter again. And the data in L1 is now sorted. There it is. That will come in handy when we need to compute the mode. We can look right now and know that the mode happens to be 7. There are 3 -7. There are 3 -7s. That's the one that wins. There's 2 -3s. That comes in second. Now, to find the mean and median from order to calc, first variable statistics, hit enter. Remember, list is an L1, so we can go down to calculate. And we have a mean of -4. X bar, -4, that's our mean. All right, median, just go on down. There it is, -7. That's the number in the middle. What is the mode? Well, remember we can deduce that by just looking at the list again. We have 3 -7s. That was the one that repeats the most. So we have a unimodal system, or a unimodal data set, where the mode is -7. And there you go. Okay, so now we have 2 more problems left. This one is a weighted mean problem. So how can we do that using our calculator? Now, it turns out that computing weighted means is a lot easier on your calculator than it is in Excel. So we're going to go ahead and do it this way, using our calculator. So let's come over here to L1. All right, we want to clear that, and we want to put our data values there. So that's going to be 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 8, 5, 4. Let's make sure I get that right. First, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so that should be 4, 5, 8, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Let's go over to L2 and put in our weights. 1.77, 2.50, 5.44, 4.87, 6.99, 2.08, 4.55, 3.50. Let's make sure we're right. 3.5, 4.55, 2.08, 6.99, 4.87, 5.44. And yes, I encourage you to do this to make sure you didn't make any mistakes, because it's easy to trip up the numbers. 2.5, 1.77. So these are correct. This is what you want to do. Go into Stat. You want to go to Calc. First variable statistics. Now the data goes in list. The weights go into frequency list. And this works on most TI-84s. This may or may not work for you on the iPhone or Android equivalent. So you need to be prepared for that. Remember, the TI-84 is the best way to go. If you want to use a clone app, you're doing that at your own peril. So over here, we want to put in our weights. Our weights are going to be what we had in L2. To select L2, we need to use the list button right here. To get to that, second, Stat. You either want to go down and highlight L2 and hit Enter, or just go ahead and hit 2. Okay, so data's in L1. Weights are in L2. We can go down and calculate. And we have a weighted average of 5.6690. They want us to round to 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3. The 4th decimal place is less than 5. So our answer should be 5.669. All right, I did something right. And this is our last problem, and it is the dreaded GPA problem. So we had to calculate the GPA of a student with the following grades. Ugh. He has 15 hours at a B, 12 hours at a D, and 17 hours at a C. It's kind of bizarre that they would list the D before the C. And of course, an A is equivalent to 4, B is equivalent to 3, C is associated with 2, D is 1, F is 0. So to do this, we want to go into Stat. We want to go back into Edit. We want to clear out L1 and L2. Okay. And remember, the grade values are the data points. The hours are the weights. So for L1, we have 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. For L2, we have no A's, so that's 0. We have 15 hours, or actually, 5 courses at a B, so that's 15. We have 12 hours at, no, that's how they can miss you. We have 7 hours at a C. Okay, 7 hours C. And then we have 12 hours at a D. And fortunately, there are no F's. Okay, so 15, 7, 12. So we can go into Stat, go over to Calc. first variable statistics, and we already have it set up. Okay, L1, L2, we can just go ahead down to calc, and this should be our answer. Now they want this to 2 decimal places. We have a 2.08. The third decimal place is an 8, which is 5 or higher, so we need to round up. So this will be 2.09, I hope. And it is, so I actually did something right. So if you can do that, you can do your homework. At the risk of being redundant again, I am going to do another problem in Excel. Not this one, because we did that one earlier. Yeah, let's do this one. Okay, so once again, copy of the data. Okay, in this particular case, we might want to go over here to hit A, hit clear to get rid of that stuff. And then I want to get rid of this too because I want to go through the steps. And then we want to paste. There we go, there's the data. Now, in C1, I'm going to type in equals average, parenthesis, highlight those values, hit parenthesis again. There you go, -5. That's my mean. To find the median, I'm going to do equals. Always start with equals, median. You can tell you're right because it kind of brings up the function for you. All right, once again, highlight the data values, hit enter, or hit the parenthesis. There we go. So the median should be -6.5. Okay, probably because we have an even data set. And then for mode, you can come over here, equals mode mult, and that's kind of long, so we just go ahead and hit the tab button to bring it across. Highlight our data set, close the parenthesis, hit enter. And we have non-applicable. Why do we have not applicable? Or why does it have NA? Well, because there is no mode. If you see an NA here, they're telling you there's no mode. There's nothing that repeats. And there you go. And that is all that I have relative to using technology for your homework and for your tests. Just keep in mind, although this is really quick and really convenient, you can't use Excel. You want to use your calculator, your TI-84 calculator, primarily because it's not that much harder, and two, it's what you can use on the exam. So you want to get used to it. You want to get used to it now, not during the exam. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out. Let me try that one more time. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out. You know how to get a hold of me. This is Bob Boyle, signing off.